Hey, this is Dr. Eric Baumgartner of Essential Medicina. I'm back at the river, just really trying to take advantage of every moment that we have this water flowing, and wanted to just share a little bit of what's been occurring for me in these days, and really what feels like to me the medicine of this river and the return of the waters to these lands, and really having a moment here in what feels like a dry, hot desert in Southern California, having a moment of winter, having a moment of cold. We had, frost last night, which is so rare, and really feeling that, the medicine of winter and the medicine of these waters and the cold is really to take us deep. It takes us into the deepest part of our psyche. It takes us into the dark places. And when I say dark places, I don't just mean the dark kind of negative, in a negative sense, but also the illuminated darkness, the place of gestation, the place of creation. And so when we go into these times, it's often uncomfortable because we confront both parts of that darkness when we allow ourselves to be still, and when we allow ourselves to really listen deeply, and we allow ourselves to see what's been happening in our psyche, within our minds. And so I'm very grateful for that, because it's been showing me aspects of myself and that I hadn't seen, and in a sense I'm grateful to all the commotion that's happening externally, because it's really a powerful reflection for me of what is internal for me, what is happening in my psyche, and how I'm reacting, and what things I'm reacting to, what things I was oblivious to. And I'm actually listening to an audiobook by Shusaku Endo, I believe it is, which is Silence. It's actually out as a movie right now, and I was curious about this, and so I'm listening to the audiobook, and one of the beautiful passages is describing this priest in kind of medieval Japan as a missionary being persecuted, and these moments of really intense and difficult threats on his life and the life of others, and his choices. And he says, he's kind of reflecting on the idea of sin. And he says, sin is not what we think it is. It's not the stealing and the crimes and the things that we notice. Of course, that is sin in a sense, but he's reflecting on the deeper and perhaps more dangerous side of sin, which is when we trample upon the lives of others and are oblivious to the damage that we're causing. And so it's such a powerful reflection for me. I know that there are ways which I do this in my life. There are ways that we're all oblivious to how we're acting, and how the way we're acting can be causing damage for others. And this is happening on a big scale right now, it feels like, as well. And I just really encourage all of us to take that external stimulus and look within for the roots of it. And to remember that if it's showing up in our external world, it also exists in our lives. It exists within us, in our psyche, and that is really the first level of the work that we have to do to make a change. And it can be really paralyzing, and I've felt a little paralyzed in these days too, and just wondering what it is that I can do. And I know that it begins at home, and it begins in my heart. And so another piece of wisdom from a dear friend of mine, Katie Sager, who's a genius at helping people to find the message within, the true message of their great work, and get it out to the world. And she's always saying that what the world needs right now is more of exactly who you are. And I love that. And I would add to that, exactly who you are in your heart. Because I think we all have versions of ourselves, and we're not sure quite which version to be. And it's really the version that is in our heart of hearts that is calling for us to express who we are. And so that's really my commitment as this year begins and as this new era begins, to be more of who I truly am in my heart, and to find ways to express that, and to make time especially in this winter time, to really reflect and to find who I am in my heart. I know intellectually, but it's so easy to get distracted and forget. And so I just pray for that for all of us, and I invite you to take this winter time to dive deep, to find both the seeds and the roots of the corrupted darkness within you, but also especially to seek out the light within the dark, that creative space, that gestation space, that miraculous starry heavens within you, and to listen to it, to practice listening to that heart, to retrain that muscle of listening to our deepest knowing, and to bring that forth as the springtime begins to come. All right, thank you so much for listening. Sorry this was kind of a longer video. This is Dr. Eric Baumgartner of Essential Medicine, and I'll see you next time.